the backcountry. It conjures up images of western mountains. But I've come to realize that the backcountry can be wherever you find it, from the swamps of Florida to the mountains of Montana, and everywhere in between. Each of these areas have their own backcountry, and each of these areas have their own heritage and history. Join me as I set out to explore these areas, learning about the animals, the history of the area, the people, and what makes each of them special. I do things my way. I do things the old way, while at the same time taking advantage of modern advancements in weapons, optics, and gear. I am independent. I am patient. I'm focused on the history, tradition, and heritage of the areas that I hunt. I am the last of a generation of hunters who did things their way. I am the last of a breed.
Now naturally, a bull likes to bring the opposition to him or entice some cows on over to him. Many a battle is fought and won without any type of actual conflict between the bulls.
So when I was a kid, my mom would literally almost have to physically drag me away from watching my uncle on TV.
The hunters would have a lot better success if they would talk less and stalk more.
The thing that I loved about how my uncle did everything is he was not afraid to teach. And everything he did was with the mind of showing somebody a certain skill to either make them more successful, whether it was survival, hunting, it didn't matter what it was.
Now elk will turn what they hear into actual impressions. What I let him hear, what calls we make, whether it's bugling or cow talk or a combination, and what direction we throw the sounds, how often I call, how we rake the brush and stomp around, all of these things send them a mental message.
To this day, I can go back and I can watch one of his shows that was made in the 80s and learn something that is beneficial in today's world. If I can teach one person something that was passed down to me, I'm happy.
Now if I had bugled as he came down the hill, he might have felt threatened and took the easy way out, often being quiet and letting the elk do their own thing. Then trying to intercept them works better than trying to control their movements.
In the highland where the eagle flies and the elk are roaming free and wild in the dark night, I close my eyes, that's all I seem to see. The morning comes and the coffee's on, I'm on the move before the dawn, wondering who's to win the day. Is it gonna be him or me? Some people never understand what it is that drives a man hunt those critters with his bow. But I know some people never understand what it is that drives a man search those mountains high and low. I ride into the mountains with my bow, I'm gonna meet the challenge, betting all my luck and skill and all that I know. It's a frosty silver morning, the bugle rings, and I have never felt a challenge quite like this. Here I go. Some people never understand what it is that drives a man hunt those critters with his bow.
The best thing a full moon does is it makes for really great midday hunting. Now we've taken a lot of big bulls right in the middle of the day. We get a lot of response from them bugling at this time too.
It's always a good idea to stop every once in a while. Squat down and look, because you'll be able to see the movement of the feet a lot easier than anything else, because their body tends to blend in.
As we moved up on this little bench, I bugled a couple times just to get a reaction and see if the herds were where we thought they were. Now that got the bugling started. And as the bulls from three main herds proceeded to put on a concert, we just sat and listened with the hair standing up on the back of our neck. notice that in hunted areas, many times there's another bull around that's bigger and actually more dominant than the herd bull. To the casual observer, he just looks lazy, like he really doesn't want anything to do with the breeding process. However, if you really pay attention, you'll see that this bull can take over the herd just about any time he wants to, and does for a day or two every once in a while. My thought is that this type of bull has just gotten too hunter-wise to let even the rut pull him into the open for very long at a time. To be consistently effective with your elk talk and calling, you have to remember that every day, even every hour, the situation in a particular herd can change. So we as hunters need to be just as open to change as the elk are. Remember, there's never only one way to get any particular bull.
A lot of people ask me, what's your favorite animal to hunt? Hands down, it'd be elk. When I was a kid, my mom and my sisters used to get so mad at me because I'd watch my uncle's shows and then I'd turn around, I'd be bugling around the house. And I even told my mom one time that I saw a purple elk with 7 legs. I was like 4 years old. I was convinced right after I'd watched my uncle's shows. It's one thing he did inspire in me more than the mountain man side of things is love for archery elk hunting. I can really smell the elk in here. There's beds all over the place and a bunch of rubs. I'm gonna sneak down here and set up and call and see if I can't call a bull in.
This cannon is freaking lighting up. When it happens like that.
That big bull's got some cows. He's not wanting to join our party, so I guess I'll go crash his. I'm gonna have to move down there closer. Hit him good. That's a dead elk walking, buddy. Well, as you can see, we didn't quite get the shot on film, but Sasquatch is hungry. He needed to get some meat on the ground. You can see right here where he spun out, took off running down the mountain. You can see blood on the log. Look at the blood on that tree. Oh, there he is right there. Well, all the fun's over. Now the work begins. But I tell you what, it sure will taste good. And just like my uncles, I believe that the trophy isn't the horns on the wall. It's the experience and the memories you take from it.
Well, folks, I hope you've enjoyed your scouting trip as much as we have, and I hope you can come hunting with us someday. But until then, keep your powder dry and your aim true, and we'll see you down the trail somewhere.